cannot judge me. I am justice itself. We were meant for more than this. To protect the innocent. But if our precious laws bind you all to inaction, then I will no longer stand as your brother.
Hey guys, this is Fuller and welcome to another new Hearthstone Heroes. I'll be continuing on from Diablo with one more Sanctuary hero. Tyrael, the Archangel of Justice, is a member of the Council of the High Heavens. He was a defender of humanity but took a very hands-off approach, by instead bringing together and guiding heroes, as well as forming groups such as the Horadrim who imprisoned the Primevals. Theme-wise, that's how I made him a leader of champions, and I wanted to incorporate all of the D3 classes, with a spell each to help out. They all work together, cooperating, protecting and synergizing with each other. To differentiate him from the Paladin and Priest though, I gave him no healing spells, and instead he relies more on buffing up his minions to protect him. Let's go to the hero itself. Here's how he'd look in game. I think he turned out really cool. And here's him with some of the Hearthstone heroes. You can compare him with the Mage and the Druid here. For the hero power, we have Anoint, being the founder of the Horadrim. For 2 mana, he can summon a 0/3 Horadrim Guardian to his aid. You can compare it to the Paladin and Shaman hero power, but he has no attack and no special ability. Mostly they are just meat shields until you have a way to buff them up. Let's go on to the cards, starting with the 3 cards all players would gain. The first one is Solace. For 3 mana, give a minion +1/+1 and deal 1 damage to all enemy minions. It's like an arcane explosion with a buff. Protect your minions and damage enemy minions at the same time, the basis of the hero theme. Next is the first minion and a hero from D3, it's the Crusader. For 3 mana, he's 0/7 with Taunt. A very thick shield to guard your other minions, similar to Voidwalker and Shieldbearer. On to my favourite card in this set, it's Judgment. For 3 mana, choose a minion, deal its attack and damage to itself. Quite close to Betrayal, any minion with a high attack power is going to die. Best used against expensive minions like Ragnaros. The second minion is Barbarian, my favourite Diablo class. For 6 mana, he's 6/5 with Battlecry. Give all other friendly minions +2 attack this turn. You can compare it to Fire Elemental stats wise, and also Savage War or Bloodlust for the buff effect. Best used when you already have some board control. Here's the first D3 class ability, it's Warcry. For 1 mana, choose a minion. For each enemy minion, give it +1/+1. In some circumstances it can give amazing value. It's like Blessing of Might but very situational. This is a classic from the D2 Paladin days, it's Holy Fire. For 3 mana, change a minion's attack to 5. A really nice combo with the hero power. Any low attack minion is going to become quite frightening, but obviously has little value to most mid and high tier minions. Next is Holy Wave, a board clear spell. For 5 mana, silence all enemy minions and deal 2 damage to them. You can compare it to Consecration and Mass Dispel. It can be amazingly useful, or so-so. The first weapon is Azure Drake. You might remember this from the D2 days. For 3 mana, it's 3/2 with Battlecry, silence a minion. The Harvest Golem Destroyer. Useful utility, similar to Fiery War Axe with an ability. On to Wizard. For 3 mana, she's 0/5, and whenever you cast a spell, give a random friendly minion +1/+1. Like a Violet Teacher and Questing Adventurer, if you can get board control, she can begin pumping your minions up to huge stats. Next we have Demon Hunter, a cheap minion. For 2 mana, she's 2/2 with Battlecry. Deal 2 damage, randomly split amongst enemy minions. Similar to Cruel Taskmaster and Mad Bomber. Very good against rush decks, especially those annoying stealth minions. Following up with her spell and the first secret, it's Toughness. For 2 mana, when one of your minions is attacked, give it +4/+4 this turn. As I said, Tyrael likes to keep his minions alive. It's especially good when combined with a taunt minion early on. Here's the second secret, it's Choir of Angels, getting some assistance from the Archangel of Hope. For 2 mana, when your opponent plays a minion, summon 2 2/2 Angelic Protectors with taunt. Very good value, but mostly useful in the early game. Next is a Crusader's secret, it's Vengeance. For 2 mana, when one of your minion dies, destroy a random enemy minion. Similar to Vaporize, the randomness though makes it unreliable, but it can be devastating to your opponent. On to self-sacrifice. This is Tyrael's sacrifice for humanity. For 2 mana, when one of your minion dies, return it to life, but deal 3 damage to your hero. Stronger than redemption, but damages your hero. You often find your opponent killing your weaker minions to trigger this though. This one's a little bit unique. It's Witch Doctor. For 3 mana, he's 2/4. Whenever an enemy minion dies, restore 1 health to all friendly minions. Kind of like an offensive healing totem, but amazing value if you keep your minions just out of death's range when trading. Here's the Witch Doctor spell. It's Soul Barrage. For 1 mana, deal 1 damage to a minion for each friendly minion on the battlefield. May remind you of Shield Slam and Savagery, especially good if you're already building up tempo and board control. Next we have Monk. For 4 mana, he's 3/3 with adjacent minions cannot be targeted by spells or hero powers. Like a combination of Fairy Dragon and Defender of Argus. Weak on its own, but in between 2 powerful minions can be incredibly useful. On to Mage's spell, it's Energy Armor. For 4 mana, give all friendly minions +1/+1 and draw a card. A good cycling card to buff up all your minions, especially good with board control. Next is Glory, the bigger Solus. For 6 mana, give a minion +2/+2 and deal 2 damage to all enemy minions. You can compare it to Blizzard. This clears the board while also strengthening your position. Now we have Tyrael's own weapon, Eldrune, the Sword of Justice. For 5 mana, it's 4/2 with Death Rattle, equip a 3/2 Shard of Eldrune. Value wise, that's 14 damage for 5 mana, and it's somewhat resilient to Acidic Ooze and Harrison Jones. Here's my favourite spell, it's Exalted Soul. For 3 mana, make a minion immune until the start of your next turn, but deal 3 damage to your hero. It ensures a minion cannot die but damages yourself, but still very vulnerable to Hex and Polymorph, etc. And now for the legendary minion, it's the Archangel of Valor, Imperius, the greatest fighter in Sanctuary. Sure, they've had their disagreements and disputes in the past, but who else would you want fighting by your side? For 8 mana, he's 4/7 with charge and equip a Solarion. Solarion is a 2/3 weapon with, whenever your hero attacks, give all friendly minions +1 attack, and that's a permanent +1 attack. So if you attack together, it comes out as 7 damage. So there you have it, the Archangel of Justice. Here are some characters that perhaps I missed. First there's Deckard Cain. It was tricky to find a role for him. Something to do with the Horadric crew, or crafting weapons cards could maybe work. Then there's Ethereal, the Archangel of Fate, who wields Talisar, the Book of Fate. Maybe some kind of tracking like ability. And of course then there's the D2 classes. I wanted to have some angelic cards as well. There wasn't space for everything. What do you think anyways? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video. I've been reading all your suggestions for other heroes. Naga and Murloc seem pretty popular, as well as the Testicle people. Well, I don't know who they are, sorry. Anyways, one hero you've specifically been requesting a lot, don't worry, he's coming up too. To see him next, please do subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.